Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a wire wrapped loop, just like this. It's actually quite simple. I'm going to be giving you several examples so that you'll get the hang of it in no time. We're going to start with the tools we're going to need. You're going to want to grab some wire to practice with, and here I have a head pin so I can show you how to make a dangle. And here is a lobster claw clasp. You could also grab a piece of chain if you had it, if you needed it. We're going to need your wire cutters. These are round nosed pliers. You can see they're conical in shape. They're for making the loops. And this is chain nose pliers. They are like smoothed, fine-tipped needle nose pliers. They're good for getting into tight spaces. All right, let's begin. Pick up my wire here. I usually start a little bit above where I think my bead is going to be. Like if I think the bead is going to be in the middle here, I'm going to start right about here. Take your chain nose pliers, and you're going to want to bend at a 90-degree angle, just like that. Now I'll take the round nose pliers. We're going to make the loop now. And just put it in there. Depending on the size of the loop you want is depending on where you're going to put them on your pliers. If you want an itty bitty loop, it's going to be right here at the tip. But if you wanted a much larger loop, you put it further at the base. I'm going to put it about here just to show you guys. A good middle size. I use my finger and I push it around just like that. And that is what you have so far. And now on the bottom edge, I'm going to slide it back in there. Just like that. And I take the bottom tail and I'll bring it underneath so you have this. Now this is personal preference, but I prefer to switch it to the other side because I hold it with my chain nose pliers. I hold the loop, just like that, so that I can twist this nice and tight around the main part of the wire. I'm going to do this with my round nose pliers, actually. I'm going to grab that wire, I'm going to pull it around, and I'm going to pull it around again. Sorry, let me get in focus real quick. There, one more time. And there you go. You can see you've got a nice tight wrap on that. Now it's time to cut that excess wire. And you'll see a little bit sticks up. It always does. So this is where you take your chain nose pliers and you're going to fold it down. Just like that. I usually pinch and twist and pinch and twist. And there you go. Make sure that it's smooth and not scratchy. And now you can add a bead if you wanted to and repeat it on the other side. Now I've put my bead on, and the way that I leave room for the wraps is to actually use the chain nose pliers as a guide. I give myself just the approximate amount of space with my chain nose pliers before I bend the wire to a 90-degree angle. Just like that. We'll go ahead again and make our loop with our round nose pliers. Try to make it about the same spot. A good way to remember this would be to take a Sharpie marker. If you were making, say, a necklace and you want all of the loops to be the same size, you can actually mark on your pliers with a Sharpie marker so that you always use the exact same spot on your pliers. I'm just going to go ahead and make this loop real quick. Switch it to the bottom so that I can pull this underneath. And there I've got my loop. But I'm going to stop here because this time I'm going to add my clasp, or a chain, or a dangle, or whatever it is that you might have to add. I'm going to slide it in and around, and there, that's on. Now, like I said before, my personal preference is to switch to my left hand and hold it there with the chain nose pliers. That way I can use my right hand to pull this loop around. You can use pliers or you can use your fingers. Last time I used pliers, but this time I'm going to use my fingers. Just make sure you pull it nice and tight, and I'm going to stop there. You can see it's just about run out of room. And actually I'm going to unbend it a little to get my cutters up in there. I'll turn my cutters around to the flush side. And I'm going to carefully clip that wire off. And then you'll need your chain nose pliers again. And remember, like I said last time, to pinch and twist. And pinch toward myself this time. There we go, I felt it give. And there you go. And now you have your clasp on here. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do a dangle. With this type of dangle, I'm going to be using a head pin and a bead. It's very simple. You'll just slide that on like that. Just like we did before, grab your chain nose pliers. And you're going to bend that over. Just like so. You can make your loop whichever size you are going to need for your project. Now this is a store-bought head pin, so it's a little stiffer than the dead soft wire that I usually use. So I am going to need my pliers to help pull this over. Now if I were to add this, if I wanted to add this to something, now would be the time to do it. Like that. I'm going to put my round nose pliers down so I can grab with my chain nose pliers. Make sure I have room for that so I'm not pinching that wire. I'm going to switch hands real quick. Now, like I said, I think I'm going to need my pliers to pull this because it's a little stiff. I'm going to grab with my round nose pliers. Hold this back so you guys can see what I'm doing. And you can see how stiff that is. There, I'm going to end it there. Okay. Time to trim that. Trying to get it as close as possible. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Alright, I'm going to have to bend this wire a little. Oh, there it goes. Now I'm going to pinch that down. My pliers are all over the place. This is what happens when you're a jeweler. You should see my desk upstairs. You OCD people would be shocked. And yet I know where everything is usually. Alright, and I think that this loop is a little kind of cattywampus. So I'm going to straighten this up with my chain nose pliers. I just grab it in the flat, you can see there, and just kind of give it a nice gentle bend. I think that's better. What do you think? What about that one? I think that one's alright. There we go. And actually, instead of a lobster claw clasp, if you'd put like an ear wire, that would be a cute little earring, don't you think? Alright, and now I thought of this a few minutes ago, but I am going to go ahead and show you guys how to wrap a briolette too, because it is a little bit different. I'm going to get my wire. I don't need this much wire. This is 24 gauge, by the way, dead soft. I almost always work in dead soft, but I do not need this much. So I'm going to go ahead and cut myself about 3 inches probably. Some people prefer to work off the spool. You can do that too, but it's a little bit more difficult. I'm going to slide that on in there. Alright, you can put it in the middle if all you're doing is a little wrapped loop, or if you're going to do like a wrapping around, which some people do like to do, you'll need to give yourself a longer tail. You would probably want 6 inches on this instead of 3. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to do it right in the middle. I'm going to bend that one upwards, I'm going to bend this one upwards. Just like that. Make sure it has room to swing and dangle. Alrighty. Now is the hard part. You gotta center your chain nose pliers. Usually you can just eyeball this and it's okay. I'm gonna bend that one upwards. And I'm gonna bend this one 90 degrees. Well, to make a 90-degree angle. Do you see what I mean? I'm gonna bend that one slightly up more. There we go. There's still room for it to move, which is good. And now this is going to act like your loop real quick. You're going to hold this with your chain nose pliers. I'm switching hands, pardon me guys. And then you're going to wrap this around. Just like that. Go ahead and cut that flush. And I'm going to pinch it down. There. And now you can either, if you want more twists in this area, you can give yourself a guide, or I also like to just use that and just bend it right above there. I feel like it's less twists and it makes the loop closer to the stone. So you see what I've done? I'm going to make a small loop on this one just to show you guys the difference towards the tip of my pliers. I'm going to do just the regular, bend it on over, and then we're going to bend it back behind, just like that. Now you can apply it to something. I don't really have anything to put it on. Or you can just hold it like normal and wrap this up real quick. There we go. I'm going to use my pliers because this is getting kind of short for my fingers. And you're going to wrap, this time if you do it this style, you actually are going to wrap your wraps. Wrap your wraps. Oh, can you see? Let me grab that real quick. And going over my old wraps. Like that. And I'm going to trim that short real quick. Like I said, if you wanted to take your wraps all the way down this, you could. You would just need a longer tail, and you would just keep on wrapping as you got down here, and then make 1 or 2 wraps up and tie it back up here at the top. Actually, I can show you guys one of those real quick. Let me tighten this down. And see, my loop is kind of, so I'm going to straighten that too. That's better. Mostly better. I don't want it to be scratchy. There we go. Now you have a little dangle. Okay, so I almost forgot. I told you guys I was going to show you this. So this is how we're going to do a wrapped briolette. I grabbed myself a little crystal here. See how long of a tail I've grabbed myself? Okay. So we're going to bend this up just like last time. Make a little crisscross. Don't mind my daughter in the background. Okay, I'm going to bend the long tail as the upward. Do you see? That one has to be the upward facing one. And then we're going to bend this one sideways. So you've got your L. Okay. Now, go ahead and wrap this one real quick, and then we'll be done with the bottom part. Sorry, got out of frame. I'll pull it nice and tight. 1 and 2. Okay, gonna go ahead and cut that. Pinch it down. Trim and tuck, people. Trim and tuck. Alright, I'm turning, by the way, as I'm pinching. Pinch and turn, pinch and turn. It helps to pull the wire towards you so it's nice and flush. And it's sticking out a little bit still there. There, I think I felt it. Yeah, that's better. Just a little bit more. Must be just this wire. For some reason it doesn't want to cooperate. Alright, so now I'm going to grab it here on the wraps, because I like to do my 90-degree angle above the wraps. So, just like that. Now we're going to make our little loop, swing it on over, got caught on the camera there, and bring it in behind. There you go. And now we're going to wrap this tail all the way down to the top of the bead and then back up. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Here's my chainless pliers. You're going to grab your little loop to hold it steady and hold it as flat as you can. Now I'm just going to use my hands because we have such a long wire here. Wrap it down, down, down. Can you see what I'm doing? You are going to have to bump that bead up. It happens to me sometimes. Wrap it over the bead a couple of times. There, now I've only got maybe 2 inches of wire left, so I'm going to have to bring that back up real quick. Some people just shoot it right back up, but I like to wrap mine back up a couple of times. And then we're going to wrap it around the stem one more time, the main part. If you don't like where a wrap went, you can actually unwrap it. You guys okay? Alright. Gonna unwrap it and then rewrap it to get it exactly where you want it to. And I like it there, so I'm gonna trim that. We're gonna trim right here. And now I'm gonna pinch it down, nice and flush. And again, you can twist while you pinch. It'll help pull it around. I can see the end of it right there. You see it? Go ahead and tuck that in a little bit. Make sure it's flush and it feels smooth to me. And now I'm going to, because you see you just kind of bend it back just like that, and make sure your loop is nice and straight at the top. And there you go, guys. A really pretty cute little dangle. I see it's a little like that. There. Alright, well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. You guys should grab beads and wire and your tools and go practice. Practice makes perfect. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.